Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. In Bhagavadgita, so the central theme is Bhakti Yoga. Because if you see, the central 6 chapters, that is from chapter number 7 to chapter number 12, the 6 chapters he completely dedicates to describe about the Bhakti Yoga. Though even other chapters of Bhagavad Gita, maybe the beginning 6 chapters or in the last 6 chapters, Krishna has mentioned at certain places about the various aspects of his bhakti towards him, but the central 6 chapters are especially focusing on the bhakti of Krishna. Just like a sandwich, the upper 2 layers are just a supporting part for the middle stuff. Similarly, karma yoga, which he is describing in the first 6 chapters, and the jnana yoga, which is describing in the last 6 chapters, they are supporting that they can ultimately lead to this point of bhakti towards Krishna. So Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that only by bhakti one can understand the God in complete truth. If one wants to understand about the God in complete essence, that is only possible by the devotion. He tells that Bhaktya tu ananya sakya ahameva vidorjuna jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. So here Krishna is saying Bhaktya tu ananya shakya. Bhaktya means the by bhakti, by devotional service. Ananya, anya means any other. Ananya means no other. By no other means, shakya means possible. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya aham eva vidorjuna. Aham means I. Krishna is pointing out to himself. Aham eva vido. Vido means to understand. Arjuna. Oh Arjun, one can understand me only by bhakti. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya. And what kind of bhakti? Ananya. Ananya means undivided. Ananya bhaktya ahameva vidorjuna. By performing bhakti to me, what happens? Jnatum drashtum cha tatvena. Jnatum means you can understand me completely. By just having a devotion, by chanting his names, by hearing about him, one can understand the complete truth about the God. Jnatum drashtum. He can also see through his eyes, can get darshan of God if his bhakti develops to highest level. Jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. He can enter into his abode, his pastimes. So this is how Krishna mentions that by just having devotion to God, though he may be not learned, he may not be so austere, still by the power of devotion he can understand God. Once when 4 kumaras went to have darshan of Vishnu at the doorstep of Vaikunta, 4 kumaras were Brahmavadis. It means they were like the Jnana yogis. By performance of Jnana yoga, they are attained the perfection in the Brahmavadis. Brahmavadis means they were having the conception of the impersonal Brahman, of the God. But they were aware that God is Krishna and his bodily effulgence is the Brahma Jyoti. But their nishtha, their aspiration was to attain the Brahma Jyoti. And we know the story when they came to the doorstep, and at the doorstep Jai Vijay was standing, and they rejected to allow them to enter the Vaikunta. And the 4 of the Brahmanas, the 4 kumaras, immediately cursed these two Jai, because though they were appearing small boys, but they were not small boys, they were great ascetics. They had just taken the form of small boys. And when Jai Vijay was cursed, Vishnu was lying inside Vaikunta on the Sheshnag, and he got to know that my servants were cursed to go to material world. So he immediately came running at the doorstep. So he himself came running to give darshan to these four kumaras, because they had come very eagerly to take darshan of Lord Vishnu. So when he came running at the doorstep of the Vaikunta and he stood there, the tulsi, the fragrance of tulsi from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu struck the nose of all these four kumaras. So there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that Tasyaravinda nayanasya padharavinda kinjalka mishra tulasi makaranda vayu antargatena svavivarena chakara tesham sankshovam aksharajusham apichitta tanvo. So in this Srimad Bhagavat verse, it is mentioned that Tasyaravinda nayanasya padharavinda. Tasya aravinda nayana, the one who is having eyes like lotus petals. Now Vishnu's eyes are like lotus petals. Tasya aravinda nayanasya padharavinda. Padharavinda means from his lotus feet. Tasya aravinda nayanasya padharavinda kinjal kamishra tulsi makaranda vayu. The tulsi which was offered at the lotus feet, makaranda means the fragrance, was carried away by the air, vayu. Antargatena svavivarena chakara tesham, means that went inside the nose of all these four kumaras, the smell, the fragrance. And as soon as the fragrance entered the nose of all these four kumaras, their attraction towards the Brahma Jyoti shattered and it went away, and they were immediately attracted to the personality of God, that is Vishnu. Immediately they shifted from Brahmavadi to Bhaktas, to Bhakti Yoga. It means the Bhakti is so potential that it can convert any of the other yogis to come to this path, attracted to any single part of Krishna. So Krishna, that's why he mentions in Bhagavadgita, in many places, that one can understand God in complete only by devotion, only by bhakti. Others may also have some realizations and understandings about God, but that is not complete. That is not in a highest sense. That's why he mentions in the 18th chapter that Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnatva vishate tat anantaram. So he is telling here, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. One will completely understand me. Tato mam tatvato jnatva. Tatvatah means incomplete. Others who think that God is impersonal or God is Paramatma who can give me siddhis, that is also the understanding of God, but that is not the complete Tattvataha. Complete Tattvataha will happen only by Bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Mam means me. Krishna explained, you can understand me only by Bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. Tattvataha means in complete truth. Vishate tad anantaram. Then you enter into the highest bliss in your journey. So that's why in Brahma Samhita also Brahmaji mentions that Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayoratapi manaso munipungavana sopyasti yat prapadasimnya vichintya tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tavaham Bhajami. So in this verse, it is said that Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo. Means those who are practicing ashtanga yoga, the yogis get so much of divine mystic powers that they can travel through the space, and they can travel through the space for many years, thousands of years. Shatavatsara sampragamya. And by traveling through this space, they want to reach to the supreme abode, the Vaikunta. Then Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayu ratapi manasa muni pungavana. They can travel at the speed of the mind, not at the speed of wind. So manaso means at the mind. If they think that I should be there, they will be immediately present there. So they can travel in such a speed. Manaso muni pungavana. Sopyasti yat prapada simnya vichintya tattve. Avichintya tattve means the jnanis try to understand by analyzing the tattva, the philosophical aspects of God. So, but still they can never reach the God. They can understand the God. So that's what it's mentioned in Brahma Samhita. They may try so hard, but still the jnanis and yogis, they can never understand the God. But in another verse, it is mentioned that Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakta. You may be a learned scholar of entire Vedas, but still you may not be able to understand God until and unless if you have devotion. Because it is mentioned, Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakta. Durlabam means it is not easily attainable for one who is learned scholar, but for one who is atma bhakta means one who is a devotee of Krishna, personal form, then he is very easily attainable. So we know the whole Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadev Goswami, but his past was completely different. So he was there for 16 long years in the womb of his mother. His father was Vyasdev, and in the womb itself got complete realization of this material world and has reached to the platform of a Jnana yogi. And he had got complete renunciation from the activities of this material world. So as soon as he came out of the womb, he got birth. So he was already a boy, 16-year-old boy. And he just ran away from the house because he never wanted to get obliged to any of the material things, and he thought, I will go directly as accept sannyas. So then his father was feeling so suffering because his son went away immediately as soon as he took birth. And the reason 16 years he stayed in the womb purposefully because he never wanted to get entangled as soon as he comes out of the womb, that is, he takes birth. But after a long request of his father, he came out of the womb, and now his father sees his son has already gone to the forest. He was weeping that, oh son, please come back. And he sent his disciples to call his son. And this Sukadev was going in the forest ahead, and the 4 disciples followed him, and they sang the glorious qualities of Krishna from Srimad Bhagavata Purana. They sang different verses describing the sweetness, describing the beauty of Krishna, describing his Bhakta Vatsala nature, his way of playing the flute, Venu Madhuri. So like this, the different qualities were described by singing the verses by these disciples.